Oh, welcome everybody. Hello, CK. Yeah, that's fair. Been lifing. I don't remember what we did in the tail end. We welded stuff, and that's what we're going to continue to do today. We welded up the supports for the ramps. I guess I could just go and show you, because we're literally gonna continue from that today. We're gonna make the stops today. Kind of already started a little bit. Oh yeah, we did some welding, and we did some welding in there, right in there, and from over there as well. So yeah, the ramps are now where they're going to sit. They're gonna get some plastic or something underneath there. Let me change the camera so you guys can see a little bit better. Yeah, they will get some plasticky things to ride on. Oh yeah, we welded on, these were just spot welded everywhere. So we now fully welded them a little bit nicer. So the plan right now is to weld in the stoppers. That thing. I was first planning on using the stopper that was. Why does it look so? There we go, thank you. The stopper that was on the old stuff, it won't really fit here nicely. So the plan is to, I was kind of first planning on just using these big honkers. It might be a bit overkill, so I got some 5mm plate instead. There we go. Some 5mm instead we're gonna use. First I was planning on just using this 3mm as just a little bit of an extra stopper, but it looks like shit, so I'm just not going to. All it needs to do is stop it from going out. So when you push it in, it's just a stopper. And then we're just gonna use bands over there to, you know. Let's just do that then. Like fully autofocus maybe? Is that the thing? Yeah. There we go. That should be it. But yeah, so remove the light. For now, plan is to clean up this edge a little bit, and then we're gonna weld this on there, test it out. But I just realized the other side. That's the thing, we unloaded them on this side before. Quite terrible seeing as it's out in traffic. That's why we're changing it. The only issue is I can't get the ramps, if I weld that in, I can't get the ramps out in here. So I just realized maybe it's actually not good to do this right now, because that means that the ramps will be in here when I do that. Unless we push the ramp truck completely out and then push it in. I just realized that. Luckily I did it beforehand. So what about what? Why about what? Yeah, no, so like the thing is, right now, as we had it, it was out in traffic. Not great. It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad at all, actually. That would be very sweet. We're doing it for simplicity right now. Really, that's it. We're always gonna have access on that side, except for in here in the garage. Most of the time it will be drivable. Drive out, take the ramps out, drive in again. Or, you know, just don't have the ramps in before we drive in. So it's not gonna be an issue 90% of the time. It's really just right now. I just realized I wanna do this as next step. That is also an option, actually. That is definitely an option. It would definitely be simple. That's for damn sure. And I see we have ads. Oh, we have ads for those that have ads showing for them. Yeah. Also, why are you... Stop that. There you go. Just gonna get all the cameras and stuff ready. Let's slap that on. Yeah, no, that would definitely be the most simplistic. That is actually not a bad idea actually at all. That is actually not a bad idea at all, except the bulb. Okay, so all of these are very good options that I had not thought through. Yeah, no, those are good options. They are. Also, is chat showing up? It's supposed to. Like, is chat showing up right there when you guys are typing? Yes, it is. Clevispin is indeed the word, yes. Yeah. You're quite right there, actually. I had not thought of this at all. Again, my whole thing was just mirror, like literally cut off the end plates of the other, like how it was, and just shove it in. Yeah, the one thing is, so okay, let me show you guys a little bit closer. How do I do this? Yes, show. So the thing is, the ramps are wider than the length of the bed. So we will have some stick out either end. Hence why I went with a little bit of a thinner plate so we can get it a little bit more flush. With a bolt sticking down, that would give depth. Push it that way. And let me go around and show you. Again, those are very good ideas that I might need to consider actually. So yeah, we have some stick out here as well. You know, these are where you slide it in the back, and that's just a holder. So the plan here is just, you know, a rope around all of this, just like it was before. Like I said, all it does is pushing it that way. But those are not bad ideas. Well, no need to drill a hole. They're filled of holes. You could literally just do that. Yeah, welding on a plate on this and then put it. The thing is well, I guess. Nah, the wheels are a little bit further back. Depending on what car. No, the wheel is literally standing right here. So over here is fine. We have plenty of space. It's very rare that we put stuff over here. Those are not bad ideas. Those are not bad ideas at all. Again though, having it to lock it on both sides kind of sucks. Kind of. Not really. It's a good idea. Easier access. You can always unload them somewhere. Very true. It means that we can't finish it today though. which is kind of the sucky part because that stuff I don't have. I have now bought everything to do this today. But I do like that. The sound of that is good. It... Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've had... Yeah, that's the thing. And like, we will never really need to do that. Like, yeah. Options are good. Options are nice. It makes it so that we could theoretically still remove it from the inside of the garage, which does happen from time to time, you know? Not often, because we still had that issue because it's been so far back, so it's against the wall most of the time. But giving options is always good. Options are nice. I was just so into how I thought about doing this. So I just didn't think about any other option, but that would, yeah. It would keep it still. It had double locks instead of just a rope. Those things are good. Needing to do on both sides a little bit annoying, but it gives options, as you say. Huh. Now you made me think here, CK. Damn you. But you are completely correct. It is a good option. It's a really good option. Not saying that what I had already thought of is a bad option, but the other one is just better. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we could only... Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm still kind of just... The thing is, we want to get this as done as soon as we can get it operating again, because we want to try to get it inspected with the engine that is in it. And that's the illegal part, you know, that would be the engine. But we don't want to find more illegal things. And have it done as soon as possible so that we can actually go rallying again by hopefully the end of the month. Exactly, that's the really quick thing. I think we might just try it out how I had envisioned it. And then if we find that we need to be able to make it out of both sides, it's literally cutting off a weld. It's not gonna be a big job to redo it with the pins. I might just do that later on anyway, when I have God and everything, you know? Yeah, so like, I think we were gonna do it how I had planned it today, just to have it done. Because there's a few other things that we need to fix, because right now, yeah, but as I said, I might not want to weld this right now, because, yeah, but yeah, the thing is, I will not be able to remove the ramps if we weld this right now. That's the problem. Then again, we should be able... Cannot bolt it on. Well, I can, but I would much rather have it welded, just because, again, there's a light in the way. So we have a side indicator, well, side light basically right here. It's just unbolted at the moment. We need to have that there because of laws. What I could do is just, as I've done here, I've just grinded everything, marked everything where I want it to be, to make new marks. Do the same on here, remove the ramps and then weld it. Because all it needs to be is flush with this, hence that plate. And then we can do everything underneath, then we just can't put the ramps in, you know? What do you mean? Oh, here. Yeah, no, we could. We could, but I want it as flush with this as possible so it doesn't... it's just so that it like we get it as much here without much stick out, basically. So we don't really want to push it that way. No, we want it kind of the stopper to be flush with this, because again, the ramps are wider than the bed of the truck. That's the issue here. That's fair. Good ideas are good. Yeah, I know what you mean though by bolting it down. We could do that. That would be fine as well. Like I have enough of the 5mm plate. Like yeah, we could do that, but again, it's like, well then we need to drill holes here instead. You know, yeah, let's just weld everything. Because here's the deal, why I don't want to have the ramps in here, and also kind of do. I don't want them to be in here because they're blocking a lot of the light that I get through the ramp when working down here, and a little bit of a headspace. That's annoying. Why I would like to have them in here, because now I have a reference on how they're laying when we are going to weld a flat plate. That's the thing. That's the plan right now. Weld it on, give everything a bit of paint job, call it done. Like that's the plan. And yeah, we want to have the ramps in here so that we can make modifications that would be necessary before we put a flat plate over all of this. We want one flat over everything. It's thin, it's just 3mm. So like it doesn't give a lot of stability, but it gives some, it will be resisting the stretching in side to side motion. Because right now, this is a bad option, but yeah, you can see this one, it has quite a bit of flex. So does this one. That's why I want to have the ramps in there so I can move them about. So, yeah, so I think we might do that one first, then this one, remove the ramps, weld the stoppers in, because we're having issues on the other end. And we can't really test in and out motion from the correct direction now anyways, because a wall. So I think the plan is to make this right. Then weld a plate on top, make sure that we have a good plan for these, weld them up. Yeah. Yeah, a bit. You mean out there? To get the ramps out, we need to go all the way there, which means 1 and 2 humps. Pushing, not engine working, no fuel tank. Could go on the starter, for sure. Have done that in the past, and many a times. Yeah, it's quite a decent hump there, and then over that. I did. It was a good idea. It was a great idea for what we're doing, because I wouldn't have worked with the fuel tank there, you know? I know it's bad right now, but I think we're doing that. We are, so first of all, I don't know how this is framed. Probably quite horrid, it looks like. Let's do that. Oh, which camera am I on? I'm on the back 1 or back 2? I was on back 2. Okay, cool. Let's clean up a little bit here. Remove... No, we don't need to remove the ramps, but we need to find our... we had some distancers, like plastic things. Actually, old ice scrapers, but I don't know where we put them last. Are they inside of the truck? They're not inside of the truck. Where the heck did we put them this time? We lost them, we found a few, but now they're gone again. Huh. That's very less than ideal, because I thought we had them now. At least a few of them. Apparently not. Well, that's actually really bad. Oh, no, here we go. Found one of them, at least. We do find the kind of one on at least 2. I had in my own car, but I have forgotten to bring them up, and if I leave, stuff goes weird, but I might just need to go a BRB real quick. Yeah, so it's literally just old ice scrapers that we have broken off. These are our spacers. for lifting the ramps themselves up. Let me try. Again, I don't really have a good metal. Oh yeah, right, where is my big chunk of metal that I usually use as your base? Here it is. Here it is. Found it. My portable metal base. Because it's heavy enough so that you guys don't fall down that easily. So let's try to lift that up like so. Well, this one, that would work as well. And now I can see, yeah, that one does fit in there. So some side to side is good to have. Maybe it's a little bit too much. The thing is, we have so much. We have a lot of space here. No, I don't like how much we have here because it's actually kind of close to the edge right there. Huh. How did it become like that? Are they different width? Or something has moved a lot. We might need to remove and give that a bashing. Probably, and they weren't straight from the beginning. Really? Okay, let's push it maximum that way because this one is a little bit easier to manipulate. So what we should do is probably cut another piece of that metal so that we have another spacer. Let's do that real quick. Shall we? Because it's the easiest one for us to just cut up real quick. Because I don't think I have a lot of 3mm plates. Tiny bits of 3mm plates. I only have like small bits of 5mm. Because reasons. Anyway. Yeah, let's cut that real quick. Because then we have spacers for the other side so we can space them equally. Yeah, let's make a third one. Oh, we need 4 in total, I think. No, this should be enough actually. Should be enough. Hallå? Åh, jävlar. Jag livesänder bara så du vet det. Jag livesänder också bara så du vet det. Det är massa kameror och skit här inne nu. Nej. Det gjorde vi inte. Nej, tyvärr inte. Vi bara kolla. Det är där lastbilen är inte besiktad. Den är lite svårbesiktad med motorn. Så det är där. Vad sa du? Ja, men den är inte heller besiktad. Ja, så. Och. Jajamän. Ja. Och. Oh, det. All right, everybody. Yeah, it's just a friend of ours just got here. So now we have the rest of our spacers. So let's go to the other side and get those spacers in so that we can compare, because you're also quite tight right there. Anyway, There we are. There we are. Let's get these. It doesn't matter if they're metal or not. No, we do not. There we go. That's it. And this one will definitely... Oh god, we have a big gap here for some reason. Again, the ramps themselves are a little bit bent. Okay, so we have something interesting here. We are actually extremely tight on this end. So this one I would actually say is pretty good. It's a bit tight on the upper side because it's against it. Yeah, it's pretty damn impossible to move it right now. How is that happened? Huh? You gotta guys remember, we had spacers on top and below before welding everything. Yeah, maybe. That would maybe work. This has warped a lot, I think. Again, these are a little bit thicker than the plates, well, the plastic that we had in mind. But not by much. But then again, we're talking millimeters here. So I guess that's kind of it. Let's focus on the side to side right now, because we could always go with smaller spacers. And right now, if we just weld stuff like on this direction, up and down can still be changed later on. But on this side, I'm actually quite happy at how it looks on the side to side motion. It's just a little bit tight. Exactly. Yeah. And we're not gonna have 5 mil, but we're gonna have about 1 to 2 mil. We actually don't have space for more than that because of this right here. That is laying against everything. It looks like a lot of weld because it's rounded, but it actually is just pushed against this. So this is our minimum height. But we can also say that we have quite a bit of weight, like quite a bit of weight to give there. So this side is fine. But yeah, there is about a millimeter of a gap. Not much more, 1.5 mil, maybe 2. But yeah, side to side on this end is fine. I'd say. Yeah, this is fine. Just the up and down is a little bit crooked right now. But again, sledgehammer there. Push it up a little bit, that will be fine. Or heating up and then bending it a little bit. Yeah, that shall be fine. Let's focus, like I said, on this side first. So, now we're back on the side that has issues, which is this one. You guys can't see a single thing. Well, I guess we're doing a risky one. Oops. Let's do it like so, maybe. And then, can we? No. Maybe if we move it like so. There we are. Like so, maybe. Yeah, we will definitely. So yeah, we're good on this side. This one is extreme amounts wrong. And, well, you guys are kind of in my way right now. It is since we welded. Yeah, it's even before that. We did put a spacer in there, so I knew it would be a gap here, quite a big one, but not this big. Again, would this be fine? I'm pretty damn certain of that, because it's still quite a bit of metal, but I would like to try to bend that one quite a bit that way. Either by ratchet strapping it when we're welding it. That should be fine to do. Let's get those bands that we had yesterday. Let's try to pull it. Because as soon as we weld this all together, we will never ever need to care about this anymore. That's kind of the whole idea right now, is just to get this all kind of welded in a good way. God damn. Oh, Jesus Christ, you guys nearly fell. Sorry. A little bit in the way. But isn't that what Chad is for? Come on, let me reach it. There's so much space underneath here, as per always. There we go. Now we can finally fit out a lip. There we go. Nice. Nice. Sweet. There we are. Now to try, because we have it welded here already on the bed, we should only move the inside one. If we can get this strap to work. No. Yeah, I was doing it the right direction. There we are. So, there we are. Now, to get some strength. There we are. How much did it move? Basically nothing. Well, we might just need proper ratchet straps then. Yeah, looks like it. I was hoping that would do enough. It most definitely does not. Does something, it's just not enough. Okay. Better. Not good, but better. I'm considering putting some heat down here, just to let it bend a little bit easier. Though that would actually most likely be enough, because having some space in between here is fine. And now we're fully pushed against up here, of course, which I don't want either. I want it to be more like that. That's actually probably fine. You know, something like that. I think that looks pretty decent, actually. Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. Right. Now, for the other ones, we can still see here we have an issue that it's already on as well. You know, it is bending upwards quite a bit. First of all, let's put that one underneath there. Did we have one more spacer? I think, yeah, we did one more. Let's put that underneath as well, on the inside here. Now, again, we are against here, which I don't love, but if we look, we're good there. We have space on both sides. We have space on that inner side, I guess. Yeah, those two in the middle, I would like to get up a little bit better. But right now we are also strapped against here, I guess. But this one, yeah, we need to get this one up more, way more. Somehow, yeah, we need to get that one up more. I am considering the old hammer trick, meaning bashing it right now. Just pushing this out, bashing it with a hammer up. Feels like the camera will probably fall if I do that. The magnet on this one isn't, you know, the strongest thing in the world. Like, I can still move you guys while being magnetized. Not great. But let's give that a shove. We can try the old, if we get my thingy here, just pushing it up a bit. with your leg. Let's see if that did a thing. It did not do a thing. Very much did not do a thing. We have another trick because of where we are. We are underneath the hoist. So we actually do have a trick up our sleeves. So, because we can use some force manipulation right now. So, lift the whole truck for a little bit. And that should have bent it. Which it did. I still don't have a gap though, weirdly enough. It needs way more bending, I guess. Huh. I did not expect it needing more bending. Yeah, but it moved quite a bit. But it's still on there, like completely on there. Yes, the ramp is not extremely flat, as you guys can maybe see. But it's, it's not horrible. Yeah, exactly. Let's just do that for a little bit. Just have it like that for a little bit. We are actually lifting the suspension right now as well. Yeah. Well, now we will do, I don't want, yes it is. It is. Of course it is. Like, you gotta remember, there's a lot of weight right now. But what we're going to do now is get that piece of metal that we usually hit on is gone. And that I cannot really use, can I? I would like to find just a rod to hit with. That would be something. Just an extender or whatever, right? Would work. Yeah, we have, well, not me, a friend to my bonus pad has quote-unquote cleaned the garage, i.e. removed everything from where it was, and now is all over the place. I no longer have a clue about like 90% of every tool, or where it is. It's great. Oj. Va? Det går framåt. Vi kom på att det är bäst att inte ta och fästa bakbiten först. För då får jag inte den ramperna utan att putta ut den. Och då försvinner allt ljus när vi ska svetsa där nere. So what I'm trying to do now is just take this, shove it down and hit it with a hammer. So that we put stresses on it where it is. I will put on my peltors though, because this is just one of those things that will hurt your ears. Va? Ja, just nu är det för att det ska bli ett litet mellanrum. Att vi valde att ha det. Du ville ha. Det är så att det är där. Alright, I will not hear you guys for a moment because I just can't be asked to have the thingy in my ear right now. Because it hurts when having the peltors on. But vad sa du? Ja. So right now I'm just giving it a bit of a, hopefully a few places where it would then like to bend instead. So yeah, let's give that a shot. Yeah. I don't know if that will work. Otherwise, we will just need to use heat. That's the answer to this if it didn't do anything else. And it did not. Really? Then again, it does slide pretty easily. Here's the deal. It will shave away over time. So, is it just pedantic of me to want this to have a gap? Or, again, time to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Since when is 3mm box pieces this strong? It's 3mm thick. You can usually bend that with your fingers. Like, not fingers, but it's not strong metal. It's really not. But today, apparently, it's extremely strong, so time for fire. Can't really get it where I kinda wanna burn it. Yeah, we're heating up the metal so that hopefully it becomes a bit more malleable. Yeah, this is why we could, like, remove the fill tank. There we are. There we go. We might need this later, so let's just keep it here for now. Right, let's see what happens now when we lower it down. It's better. That's good enough. Yeah. That's definitely good enough. Yeah. I just realized something. You know how I said I wanted to have a metal piece going over everything? That won't work. That would bend them back together, like back down, because the ramps are on the frame that is angled upwards-ish. It's flat, but because of how the geometry of everything works, they're kind of upwards, right? Nothing is flat underneath. It's not meant to be flat. They are on different heights. On the ramp, like the bed of the truck as well, because it's sloping downwards. The bed of the truck slopes downwards, so of course everything here slopes differently everywhere else. So I can't put one straight piece all over. So we need to tie that one to that one, that one to that one, and then make a small piece in between to strengthen them together. And that's fine, like that's super fine, but I just realized that, which is good, right? What we technically could just do then, CK, you had so many good ideas just before. Why didn't you just say that, just measure the ramps and add a little bit? That's the distance between them it should be. Yeah. I did just realize that as well. We live and learn. That's what we're here for. But at least we do have a gap right here, right now. That's good. Let's put this back. That is too thick. I do know it's too thick. This one now has bent up and it's good side to side. So let's take a measurement. Do you guys see what I'm doing at all down there? Cool car, bro. I know, it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, you've never seen it before. You've never driven it or anything like that. Well, you have not ridden in it now that it is really cool. Right now it's really cool. But yes, we are moving the ramps. So yeah, hopefully a little bit better than back there. Something I wanted to do for a long while, actually. Let's get that. Is that okay view, maybe? I think so. Oh yeah, I gotta remember. Little cameras over here-ish. Moving the ramps. And what were I doing? Yeah, we're taking a measurement. We could, like I said, probably just do a measurement of that, but because of how we have done this now, I'm going to take... So that would be a 33 mil-ish between there. So that one is 33-ish mils. And this one should be also 33 and a half. Yeah, well, that's fine. That would be fine, wouldn't it? But if we do make both 33, we can then try to get that one a little bit more in as well. Because these are pretty good spaced. In a way, I do that would be fine, because the issue we have right now is actually in there, not out here. Yeah, let's make both 33, I think. Yes, exactly, better balance, that's the whole plan. And we are planning on moving the rear axle as well, further back. So the ramps would kind of actually be in the way. But yes, the better balance is 90% of the reasons for it. As you know, if you have the car just a little bit too far back, you can do wheelies. I imagine you have tried that as well. It's not fun. Yes, we are. Sometime in the future. We don't know when, because it's gonna cost a lot of money to do. Because, again, it's making it a, you know, 4-link suspension with all that, including airbags and all that. I'm just gonna make two 33s. Exactly. Yes, full fancy. Mainly because that's just gonna be the best way to do it. Because we are going to remove everything. So the idea is, I don't know if you guys can see at all now. Let me show you. So the plan is to, because of how they have done that, they have cut the original frame and then yes, that, and just have control over like when we're driving on it. But yeah, the plan is to basically use these and the front mounts, because we can't just shove everything back because of the cut off frame. Otherwise that was the original plan. But now the plan is to use like all of this strength here that we already have as the main. So hopefully we can get the wheels around here. That's about 1 meter back, and then use this bar there to have mount every, like the suspension. We're gonna use shock absorbers and airbags. So that's the plan, to use all the strength of this area. So because we can't really use that because it's just bolted, and it's very convenient to be able to unbolt this. Yes, we could just weld it all up and everything, but it's very convenient to actually be able to remove that. We did that first time we did all the rust repairs. Extremely useful. So yeah, it's a Ford. Again, we will have to, you know, re-weld rust. Yeah, exactly. So that's the plan. That's why we remove that, because the wheels will be around here, right? So right now, again, when we are loaded, we kind of have the doors here-ish. That's the front door. So the middle of the weight of the rally car is in line with the wheels, not in front of them. So if you load just a little bit farther back, it does wheelies. That's why we built that, to have all our stuff. We have about nearly 100 kilos on the roof of the truck. It's not meant to have 100 kilos on it. We have about 100 kilos up there, just to push the front forward, like front down. That's why we're moving the ramps, so they're not over there, they're over here. And then we can also, you know, push the rear axle back. We were hoping to do that this year, but because of my studies and working less hours and everything, that is not gonna happen this year. Hence why I don't want to do the re-registration of the car as a to make the engine legal. The problem we're having right now is that the engine itself is illegal. We don't have relaxed rules. We can only increase horsepower by 10%, I think it is, 10 or 15%, and torque by 20%. Yes. Yeah, you know, we have the 2-liter Volvo turbo engine. You don't know? Well, you should know that. You should have seen that, I think. It's been in here for a year now. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, we might do triangulated. We don't think we will. The reason for why we will go with a panhard and everything is just because it's a little bit simpler in this situation. We could go triangulated. Yes, we could. With that axle, it's a little bit iffy. So because we don't have access to another axle easily, we don't want to put too much heat into the axle itself. They're very rare to find these axles around. They're extremely rare. So the plan is to just use the mounts for the leaf springs and bolt on there. So we're gonna bolt on the suspension, like the linkage parts, and weld that to a bolted piece instead for welding on the gearbox itself. If I had money, I would just throw any Chevy rear end or whatever in there, or buy like a 9-inch or whatever, right? But that costs a lot of money here. Again, we don't have access in that, like right here. Again, it's just extremely rare to have dualies. That is extremely rare here. Yes, there are newer Ford Transits with it. I was just looking into buying new wheels because those are 16-inch, not 14 as they came, like the ones in the front. Those are 14. We use 16 inches. Those are from Isuzu, I think, or yeah, something like that, something weird. That are close enough to fit on this axle. That's why we used a mill to drill holes. But now they fit. Yeah, they are 18 mil and the studs are exactly 18 mil, I think it was, or 20 or whatever it was. So they are bolt centric, they're not hub centric. Yeah, now they are. They weren't from the beginning, of course, but they are now. It's that tight. It's literally extremely tight. But yeah, so that's why we have everything kind of working with that axle. So when we are shoving it backwards, we want to lessen anything that can damage the gear, like the axle or any internals of the axle. Is it the best way to do it? Definitely not. It's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is not to have this truck. Like, that's the thing. You gotta remember, the best thing is not to have this truck. That would be to have a newer truck. Yeah, like, if I had infinite money, I would either have a Solsta, probably a Solsta Saab, because they're the most common, but a Solsta, I can show you guys what a Solsta is. So, for those that don't know, we have a company here in Sweden called Solsta. It's an interesting company. Let me show you guys. Let's just take Solsta Volvo, just because they're cooler, because they're a Volvo, not a Saab. Let me open this image. Hopefully it's big enough. There we go. It is big enough. Can we do that? Yeah, cool. No. Oh. There we go. That's a Solsta Volvo. I want one of those. If I had money, I would just buy one of those. That's what I would like. Or even like something like that. They drive like a car. That's amazing. They took, technically the thing were Saabs in the past, right? That's what they did. That's why they're called Solsta Saab. But Solsta is their new thing, right? And they are just a marriage of a trailer and a car. So it kind of drives just like a car. And yeah, it's amazing. But they're expensive, like really expensive. So like, let's take this, a V70. That one got sold for... Yeah, of course it will, but who cares? So this one is 2022, that was cheap as hell, because trust me, these are expensive usually. That's probably had a lot of faults on it. But like, they're awesome. I know there are... Well, kind of, just... There we go, fuck off everything. Let me just search. I think that there's one out right now, I know that. That is extremely cool. Why the no. Solstad. There we go. So that's one for 70, so 7,000. Basically, just remove a zero and then you have this thing. This is one that I want so bad. How cool wouldn't that be? It's a Toyota Camry, right? Yeah. But it's so cool. What? And this is more legal than my car. It has airbags. And a winch. Like, how cool isn't this? Okay, how do you say that when you're in Texas right now? Have you looked outside? Like, you have literally some of the most relaxed rules ever. And you were just, well, you went to Florida, you were in North Carolina, which is a bit better. But again, Florida, you guys have Florida. You have no rights, literally no rights to call us crazy. Because this is just cool things. Like, look at that. How cool ain't that? Right? Fuck yeah. I want that so bad. But then you go, here's what they usually cost when they're just, you know, more modern. So that's 500,000 Swedish krona. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's 50 grand nearly money. But, again, they're really cool. Yes, I am ranting a little bit, but look at them. This one, like, this is the price of an unfinished project. That is the crazy part. That is so expensive, but these are cool, right? These are really, really cool. But yeah, let's make CK happy then and show him a Saab. There you go. That's actually the bread and butter of that company. that's this. You know, this is the bread and butter of that company. See, it's ugly. It's a Saab. It would break down. Fucking hell, that's useless. Useless shit. Anyway, there you are. But yes, if I had money, I would have one of those. Without a hesitation. Let's. I heard that whole thing. Oh, isn't that the one Powers were looking at? Or similar to that one? Yeah, and you call me crazy. Like, okay, let's show the class this. Yeah. You see, this is not much work. Like, the only difference is that this is based on a truck frame. But that's probably just the truck frame. It's not a reinforcement on the frame itself. That's the difference. We cut up our normal sedans and then slap a trailer on it and some reinforcements, and then we call it good. But again, that's legal. That one is more legal than my Ram truck right now. Let's see, again. I hear that whole thing in my ear. Yeah. You see, this is way more crazy for me. Because, again, that's probably an extended frame by someone welding it, slapping a bed on it. You know? Though it is cool, like, I'm not gonna deny, but here you couldn't tow anything on it. Like, you know, you can't tow anything. Like, you can't even drive that on a normal car license here. That weighs too much. We have 3.5 metric ton is our limit on just the V, like on a B license, as it's called. That's a car license. I can have that and have 1,710 kilos on the bed of this Ram truck. That's why this Ram truck is so amazing. That's why it's so hard to beat compared to anything else on the market, except for those Solstas vehicles. Those are all the only ones that are close to be able to have the same amount of weight on the bed, because they're so light from the beginning, right? So that's the difference. And that's why this, like, don't get me wrong, I love this truck. I really do. But the difference is, if I was smart and did this the smart way, as we talked about, that's how we all got started on this, it's not to move the rear axle or put a 4-link in it. It would not be owning this, because I have already put in way too much work on it, technically. Yes and no, except for I need a new license then again. Again, I need another license, and I need a tow car. So I need a car, I need a trailer, probably like a van or something. Those are expensive. That can actually tow as well. So we're looking in, again, I've done the math. We have, everything I spent on this is not even a good trailer. I bought this from, well, that's the thing. You already have a truck, you know, and you guys can tow, what is it, like, we didn't really look this up, like nearly like 50 tons or something on your normal licenses. Like, wasn't it like an extreme crazy amount on your normal licenses? You know, it is so far from anything in Europe. That's the difference. Isn't it, like, as long as it's not There you go. I don't know the conversion like in my head. That is too much weight. I know about 2,000 pounds is like a ton and something. Like that is a lot. That's a lot of weight. Again, I think at 2,000 pounds is a ton and like ton and a half or something like that. Because yeah, fail race talk about it a lot, and you know that it's under it's under 2,000 pounds, so it's light. Yeah, and like yeah, that is extremely crazy to me, because again we only have 3,500 kilograms on a B license, and when you go up to the vehicle itself weighing more than 3.5 tons, usually you then need a commercial license, like a lorry license, if the vehicle itself weighs more. Oh, yeah, I thought Finnegan, with his whole thing, when he did all those like motorhome ramp truck situation thingies, it was like, oh, as long as it doesn't have air brakes, it's fine, kind of deal. I think that's in Georgia or whatever. There we go. Now those are done. Finally, after our rant. Those cuts are straight, if you're wondering, by the way. They're extremely straight. Very much not. So, if I would then go the trailer route, which a lot of people ask, why don't you just have a trailer? Yeah. So what is that in less freedom units? Someone looked that up. You know, the more used type of weight system measurements, you know, from like the majority of countries in the world. Let's try to get you guys a decent enough angle. Something like that, maybe? Yes, probably good enough. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's so far from anything legal right here. Like, that is lorry licenses. Like, that's a C license. That's a commercial license immediately, first of all. Second of all, that's just... and you guys can do that when you're just 16. Jesus Christ. That's scary. Yeah. 12,000 kilos. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. The Buick, that kind of makes sense. And like I said, I would, if the car allows it, and I had a BE license. Yeah. And like, I guess that's fine. I could tow with this, with the truck, I have a gross weight, a lot like it's called train weight here. So a combined weight of load and trailer, 5,100 is the allowed on this truck, which is actually really good. Again, if I had a BE license, I could tow anything behind it. I'm not allowed to right now. Also, it doesn't have a tow hitch. So that's kind of a problem. But yeah, anything with the vehicle itself being above 3.5 tons, that's a C license. Yeah, it's really not. It's really good, actually. And again, I can legally on my license have 1,710 kilograms on the bed. That's because then I'm up to 3,500 kilos combined on the vehicle itself. And then, like I said, if I had a BE license, which is a car and trailer license, which I don't have, that's why I went this route, really. Because to tow a proper, like tow with a proper car, you need a BE license, or at least an extended B license, which is like a little bit in the way, like in the middle. With a B extended, or B96 as it's actually called. With a B96, you have 4,125 combined weight, I think it is. And with a BE, it is what the the vehicle towing's max capacity. So if you have a BE license, it's only about what the car is allowed to tow, pretty much. So yes, if you then import a American truck, you can then tow lots of shit behind it. But usually the issue is with that is the vehicle itself might weigh too much, so you can barely drive it under the B license, and then you might need a C license, a commercial license, and then you need a CE license to tow anything behind it. So that's the issue here. That's why this truck is really, really good. Everyone can drive it. If anything would happen with me and we need to still get the rally car or anything out, anyone can just jump in and drive the vehicle. That's why I really like this idea. Second of all, I can pretty much put anything on it. Now with the new engine, it also has the power to do it. The last thing is the balance of the vehicle is off, because even though this is the long wheelbase, yes it is, by the way, it's a long wheelbase, it was never meant to be used in the way that it is. It is a van from the beginning. It was a panel van, well not really, this was a pickup, actually called a pickup. It was a flatbed beforehand, but it was never really meant to have a car on it. It was meant to haul shit, not have a rally car weighing 1,350 kilos on it, you know, because it can't get the weight where it's supposed to be. When you load shit, usually you don't load it here. You load the heavy shit here and the lighter things in the back. Again, we also gotta remember this was built in '88. Things were slower then, you know. Anyway, we shall now look how our pieces became. And that became pretty damn nice. So, if we just clean everything up, you know, push that away, because we have already measured these, clamp them together, I think, with I had other clamps, you know, vice grips. I had a vice grip here yesterday. Where did that vice grip go? There it is. Yeah, we're turning into Vice Grip Garage now. Again, I have not actually watched Vice Grip Garage. So yeah, we're gonna take the finger sander here, clean everything off, and then weld these together, I think. And as you can see here, yeah, 3mm is not that strong usually. But this is just to give everything a little bit of a stability and not be able to move the side to side movement. You guys can even see, you can't see that, but yeah, the side to side. That will be limited with this. That is big enough for that. It only has a job to do. And then we're gonna put one in between them and then one over here as well. Yeah, cool. Let's get the finger sander out and finger sanding. These though, we will probably just use the angle grinder on to clean them up. But yeah, finger sander time. Woo! And yeah, let's remove the cap. There we are. Cool. But yeah, like the plan is hopefully, that's why we want to get the, hopefully we can get it inspected. They don't care about the engine, so we can drive it for 2 more years and then actually move the rear axle back and then do a proper, what's called an SFRO inspection, then registering it as a modified vehicle. Then it's legal, but it costs about $1,400 to do that inspection. Yeah, welcome to Sweden. Shit is expensive. And that's the thing that annoys me the most is I understand the regulations about, yeah, you can't throw whatever engine you want into any car. The problem, because like, yeah, if you shove a V8 in like a Volvo 940, uses the standard brakes, probably not a good idea, right? Because you have increased weight in the front and you have increased a lot of horsepower. You probably also changed gearboxes and stuff, right? To get the actual benefit of that engine. I have the same gearbox, I have the same final drive. I have not made the car go any faster. Oh, After 92, you can't change engines at all, pretty much, unless you do an SFRO inspection. Because that's basically a limit they said for reasons. Don't ask me why. This is an 88, so it's fine. But 92 basically has, then you need a paper from the manufacturer that it's okay. And technically Ford has done that in the past in Sweden. So I'm getting to why this is stupid. And that's what I was talking about. So the reason why I think this is extremely stupid is, the reasoning is, it's the brakes and stuff. And I think that's fair. Except it doesn't matter what the constructor had done before. Well, like this truck came in England with a V6 engine that has produces 157 horsepower and quite a bit of torque. More torque than the engine I have in it. So 7 less horsepower and more torque. I have the same brakes, same suspension, same gear, everything the same as that, because the 190L, which is my engine, like it's 190L, it's long wheelbase, bigger, like everything, bigger tow capacitor, like weight and everything, has the big brake conversion. It has the same brakes, everything as the V6 engine, even though I can prove that it doesn't matter. It matters what engine came from factory. That's the percentage based on. So if I would have imported a V6 and Ford Transit from England, I could put this engine in any day of the week and just $500 have it registered with this engine. Again, I cannot buy a V6 engine that was put into this originally, say, hey, this is an OEM engine, I have everything OEM. It doesn't matter because it didn't come with this engine. That is where my problem lies. I am all fine with having rules about safety so that you don't put a big ass fucking engine, new, like everything else, but don't increase safety or have no regard to the safety. But the problem here is, oh, you didn't come with that engine, so fuck you. Because then it's not about safety anymore, it's just about rules. It's basically like, nah, don't do that. Also, really stupid thing, if you do have a legally changed engine that needs, and for this one, like I would have to use a catalytic converter, which I already am. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, we have the similar thing with the SFRO thing. It's just so damn expensive. And that's the thing, like I do have that, but I need to go through a very rigorous process that is... Yeah, exactly, like, yeah, I think the Aussies have it way better, and like, yeah, and the thing is, even though I can prove, again, on the SFRO, that this is similar brakes, they can say, no, we want you to have bigger brakes. They don't also care about that it was standard, you know. Because they will do their own, like, decisions about that stuff. Which, again, kind of defeats the point. It doesn't become about safety then. There we are. Oh, this is very tight. This is why a finger sander is very, very nice. We wanna get it legal, of course. because it's a hassle every other year. This was very tight. Maybe? This is kind of stupid. And I like how I said this is kind of stupid and then continued. What option do I have, really? Yeah, this one is, you know, even worse actually. Yeah, I would like have it all sideways. That doesn't really work that way. Yeah, should have cleaned this up before. Also, is the music still going? Is that off? No, it's still going. Cool. Yeah, tjuv is fucking. Yeah, okay, good. It's just so loud right now, so I don't hear it. Just grinding off the milk scales and the surface rough that has become now. There we are, cool. I guess we could just use this. I don't know how much you guys could see there. I hope you guys saw the majority of it. Nah, let's not be unnecessarily stupid. There we go. We could just move you guys upwards. There you go, now you can see me, cool. Should be good enough. There we are. Good. Just cleaning it all up for the welder. Sweet! So let's do this one first again. Let's try to get some light down there for you all. I would like to do this without burning the light, I guess. Cool. So, with this, lay it about there-ish. Because we know this one is fairly good, to be honest. I'm just gonna remove the little finger sander. We will also remove the unnecessary protections right now. We could grab another set of vice grips. There should be somewhere. Again, I had a really good place for everything, but then now everything has moved. Annoyingly so, but I think I know where the vice grips are. No, I do not. Well, ain't that a shame? We could just use the... Oh, there we go. That's another pair of vice grips. Vice grips are just good in this situation. Now the question is though, should we have them a little bit in, a little bit out? I think so that we can weld. This side is going to be a pain in the ass to weld. Can you guys see that? Probably not much, huh? Let's do that a little bit more. Maybe we should use the other camera. There you go. See, maybe a little bit better. Yeah, so the plan is to tighten you up a little bit more. Something like that. And now we can fully decide with this one where we want it. Okay, need to tighten you up a bit more as well. Something like that. Let's put some tack welds, shove it in and see how that became. Sounds like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Good. Let's do that then. Let's get that cable out of the way. Drag the welder a little bit closer. Get the earth out. It's very nice to have these, like what I'm grounding on is just the hooks for, well, you guys can actually see this, the hooks for the ratchet straps. It works really well, but I guess right now, because you should always try to have your earth as close as that to where you're welding. We could actually just clamp it to that right now. I think that's actually just a tad better. Open up the gas. And like I said, we're just doing a tack weld right now. So, yeah, but I am just so bad and so wobbly, so I just like having my welding helmet on at all times. A lot of people just do the old safety squint. I'm just bad at keeping my eyes shut. So, that's why I do not. All the settings we had yesterday should be fine. So yeah, let's give this a little weldy poo. We can actually do this from above. There we are. This one, on the other hand, will be a little bit more tricksy. I will try not to weld the vice grip. Has happened before. With these vice grips, particularly. Yeah, I do want to get one up here as well, so that we get the a little angle. Yeah. Yes. I do it. Of course I do. Like everybody else does. I just try not to do it. Because I know I'm bad at it. Right, let's have a looky. Yeah, I like that. With that one getting up there. Yeah. Cool. That, oh god, yes. Way stiffer side to side, which is what we wanted. So let's weld that. Do we need to fully weld them? No. Will we? Yeah, probably. Because why not? That's mostly it. Really? All right. This is awkward. Oh. Maybe if I do that. Cool. And the insides, maybe I'll be able to do it from above. I'm getting cramps on my fingers. Oh god, and my back. Oh jeez. Anyway. Again, is this overkill? Most likely. But it's also a little bit like, then we will never need to worry. There we are, cool. One done, one to go. Oh god, that hurt the back. Let's see. Yeah, we're still good. Still have plenty of like movement. Again, we still haven't fixed the up and down. I hope tying it with the others will help a little bit. But we'll see about that. Again, I think when we weld these together, let's put the other one in here. Can you guys see that one? We will have an ad breaker. Is that view good enough to see what I'm doing over here, or do we need to move the camera a little bit? We will need to move them closer together. That's for damn sure we will. What happens if we... Now we can't really, except with violence. Because we already do know how far in between they need to be. They need to be 30, so this one fits. Right? And as long as we only push that side, we should be fine. Again, this side shouldn't want to move that badly. So what we could be doing is you all like that trick. Yeah, let me know if I need to move the camera a bit here. I think doing it something like that would work pretty well. So get the hammer in, shove it in, and then let's move the ramps a little bit more. If we can. That made the fucking hammer fall. Hey, hammer fall, good band. Good metal band. There we are, cool. Well, might not need it that much now. Yeah, looks fine. Yeah, we probably will need to increase the height over here. I'm kind of tempted to just... do that. Oh. That's... oh yeah, right, that one is a bit further back. That is actually true. So before, we have that one pretty well. Let's... need to tighten this one up more. This one is nearly fully tight as well, which is an issue. Where did I put a hammer? There we go. Come off it. My welding gloves are too big for me. Get a good grip on this. Okay, it's too tight now. Yes, I want you to bend. Come on. The normal pace with vice grips, I feel. There we go. That should hold. Sweet. I'm just gonna tack that really quickly now. Sorry if you guys can't see much. I do apologize. But I do need the tacks right now to double check if this is going to work. That should be enough to hold it. Maybe one more, because a lot of the strain will be over here. There we go. Well, then you can get one more over here as well. I didn't think about places to easily remove those tacks, but that's a whole different thing, isn't it? Okay, cool. It seems to be holding. It is holding. We are in business. It's only pushing that one up a bit more, because that one is way lower now, interestingly so. Oh yeah, no, that one still has its spacer, but we still need to push that up a little bit. We do. Well, that works. That looks great. Yeah, so even when pushed most there, we have enough to support it everywhere. Nicely so. Yeah, it became a bit tight to move in and out, but that's fine. Again, can you see anything? Yeah, you should be able to see the welds. Should be. Right then, let's weld that up. Again, we'll do mostly from above. Nice. Sweet. Caroline. Dup, dup, dup. It's just, I don't get the... Maybe if I hold it like... Yeah, that worked, actually. Oh no. There we are. Cool. Let me show you guys how it became. These are, if we focus, some decent welds, I'd say. Now, let's try. Yeah, it's a little bit sticky right there. So we might be doing the same trick that we did on the other side to just push it up. And then we're gonna make one that connects the two. That's the plan right now. So right here, we have lots and lots of space. But I think all the sides to sides are good. But yeah, that one is a bit tight. It does have its spacer on all sides, I think. Except for right there. Oh yeah, I think we will try the same thing we did on the other side. Push them up a little bit. We might need to put something to tie them up here, maybe. But that's a win so far. But I think we will have... Ah, geez, I forgot to bring up water today again. If my mom is watching, I would gladly appreciate some water. Right now. There we go. And let's bring back that. Well, just gonna have a quick little breather and a stretch because I did something that hurt my back. Woof. Woof. Ooh, that hurt. Anyway. Cool. Yeah, like I said, if my mom hears this, Jesus Christ, that camera is extremely dark. Why are you so dark? I know you're an old phone. Do we have to do that then maybe? Is that a bit better? It's a bit better. It's a worse angle, but at least you guys can kind of see what's going on. Yeah. Welding, am I right? You just have the worst angles. I have some water left from yesterday. It's fine. It's drinkable. And it's extremely cold. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, do we have any viewers on YouTube today? Let's have a look. That's not... Ah, we have one. Maybe that's just me opening it up. Yeah, we had Flamers there yesterday, which was very interesting. Again, having him on YouTube and not Twitch. But yeah, for those that do like that more, we do a stream on both, but I have no of the fancy stuff linked to the YouTube stuff. And yeah, no, those welds are good enough. Like, again, I could have probably just done like 3 tacks. That would have been good enough. All it is to limit the side-to-side movement. And it does that now. Now we're going to figure out so they are connected, which in theory they shouldn't need to be. It's just that I want that little bit more strength in between the 2 sets. because they're going. The plan is to just weld on these loops on the end, put like straps around that, and then just have a strap connecting them to on the other end. Like that's literally the plan. These just because it's a little bit easier than before when it was, yeah, like this is the plan. Put a rope between this, so yeah, weld this in place. That's the plan. Easy peasy. Or one of the other ones, I have another type, I think it's a bit smaller, so that's just the plan, to weld those on the end and have one strap basically, well, two technically, and then meet in the middle and just tighten them up, just to make it easy. That's the plan. It has worked for all the years before, so why shouldn't it work now? That's the question, right? Yeah. By the way, I hope the welding helmet doesn't hit the microphone too much. I know, one of the reasons why we are streaming today is because instead of doing studying, I looked at my old streams from when we did engine build and a lot of the exhaust work actually. It's good fun. Those are all on YouTube, most of them at least, on the YouTube channel for VODs. I also do, yeah, you know, I was watching all that, it was fun, so I was like, hey, I'm live stream again. And I knew I would have 2 days here, so yeah. That's mainly the reason why we are live streaming. But yeah, I noticed that I hit the microphone a lot when having the welding helmet on. I hope I'm not doing that right now. I'm trying not to. I think I had it like way lower down, and the other welding helmets, like neck piece, was just worse than the good one. Ah, good water. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, I think, like I said, we should. The annoying part is that it's so difficult for us to pull in and out in the correct way. To do any big modifications right now. We have limited side-to-side bending. There will be some. Like, let's be honest here, it's 3mm angle with just a 3mm thick flat iron piece together. There will be some side-to-side movement. I don't care. It's just there to not make it shoot off. And just because they might vibrate a little bit, or when you're putting them in, they will go a little bit sideways. It won't break anything. That's why it's all held together now. That's the main part, right? We don't need to make it way stiffer. The only place that I might do is between, like, because of how the one closest to the cab is mounted, it only has 2 mounting places right now, on the far ends of each other, like of the angle iron. So I might put one strengthening piece in the middle, because it is quite floppy up and down, and it just feels like it's kind of get a lot of vibrations, and that could make a lot of noise. And we want to limit noise as well, right? Because we just don't want a lot of noise. Oh yeah, I guess if my mother is listening to this and are planning to get up here with water, if you haven't gone up yet, bring the cutting board. Let's actually just use that right now. Yes, we're gonna use an old cutting board. That's the plan, to use it as the sliding stuff. Bring that up if you can. That would be lovely. Or if my fiance is watching this, could you text my mom to tell her to do that? That would be great. Because we could actually do that. So we could remove the ramps. Again, we will be sliding them the wrong way. And the reason, let me show you guys why there's a reason for that being bad. So on this side of them, they are actually, because they are reinforced here, they are a bit wider compared to everywhere else. That's why they are already a bit like sharpened here, and they have always been, but even more now because of its grinding on the railing. That would not be the case when sliding them from the other side. And I kind of want to look if one ramp fits better on a certain place, that would be fine too. Yeah, but here you go, like here you can see that this one is quite floppy because it has no support over here. The other ones are welded way closer together, and that one, the furthest that way, has welded on the middle piece. Would this be fine? Yeah, but could it do vibrating noises? Yeah, and we already have enough vibrating noises with that. Trust me. We are going to carpet the whole backside because it's just metal right now. That is gonna get sound insulation. Because this is nearly louder than the rally car. But yeah, you can see. Also, bonus points. CK, let's see how you know your Chevys. What seat is that? Do you know what seat that is? It's actually quite easy because I've only owned one Chevy. But, nah. But yeah, as you can hear, that's really loud. Yeah, and the floors are not nice either. So yeah, this is gonna get a lot of rework later on because it's not the top priority right now. This stuff is. And you know, engine stuff. Oh yeah, I kind of want to show you guys because I am waiting if my mom is listening or not. Like I said, don't know at the moment. So let's have a little bit of a look-see in here because we haven't looked in here for a while. Not a lot of work has been made. Or we could show another thing that will be added soon, hopefully. But yeah, the engine bay is actually cleaning up quite nicely. I don't remember if I had my little vacuum manifold last time, but we have a vacuum manifold now. So this is, no, the feed is this one, I think. Yes, that's the feed. I think it is. So this is for the PVC, PVC valve. That's for fuel. Yes, it is. That's for the fuel. This is for brake. No, this is the feed. Yeah, feed in. That's for the brakes on the other side. Turbo, wastegate, and vacuum for something else. I can't remember. But that's our vacuum manifold. It does look pretty neat now. That is still sadly broken. It is what it is. But yeah, we have that on. We actually have the engine mount in here. Well, it's where the engine mount goes. We will actually use that for our intercooler mounting later on, probably, or the piping, because it's just hanging right now in fans. Intercooler is not bought yet. We have a plan on that one. But what's going in? What the issue is right now. Speaking of the PVC, like the circulation stuff, down there somewhere, you can see some of the hoses. That's where the recirculation, everything, the crankcase venting is, right? That's leaking. So we either need to remove the intake manifold or the engine mount to replace it because it's dumping oil out. That's why we had that big plastic thing on the ramp truck that was sitting above here. That big, it's actually the floor mat, the boot mat on a 945 turbo. Yeah, it's good to have lots of stuff. But we also have this little thing that we need to mount. Again, good little thing for those that knows. Question for what that could be. That is going to sit right here is the plan. So we're gonna make a mount welded in here for that to sit right here. And we also need to make the mount sticking out here for that to actually be mounted as well, not just tied in with zip ties. That's the fuse box for the engine room. Good stuff. Good stuff is in progress. But yeah, there's some wiring still left to do to clean up. Actually gonna rewire this this whole loom right here. Is supposed to be detachable because that's the only thing that is not like, this is all the connectors up here. So this is the only thing that goes on this whole big loom Otherwise, everything is on connectors. So we could just tie everything else up then. And this is the engine loom, basically. All the other wiring is basically for the ECU and that stuff. But that's the main engine wiring. So if we can get some connectors on that, we can then detach the engine, or like the engine loom, way easier, which would be nice. And like I said, we are using, like, we have a lot of unused wires, or like unnecessary wires, a lot of them. As you can see on how many we have cut over here, like all of these are unused, and there's more everywhere. That's why this is all hacked up as well. But yeah, this is not pretty. This is all just temporary stuff to make it run, which has been like this for months and months now. But it does run, you know. So intake air temperature sensor sits somewhere. Oh yeah, it's actually down there now. But yeah, engine is going. But yes, for those that don't know, that's a electronic power steering pump that we're gonna put in here. Here goes the original power steering pump. Doesn't really fit with this. It doesn't fit that either because, well, everything gets hit here. And we can't use that because then we can't use the belt, little belt that we have down here, because then we need to have the AC pump. There is an AC pump delete kit that doesn't fit because we have an engine mount there. We could probably build our own, but again, that would be a pain in the ass. So instead we're using a Ford Mondeo power steering, electronic power steering pump, which is a Volvo unit originally. Anyway, lessons over. Let's continue working. I have not decided what we're going to do yet. Again, it is too tight. It's cooled down enough. Yeah, I kind of want to bend this up like we did with the other one. I do. So I think that's the plan. And then put a piece straight off there, just to keep these together as well. The aid and everything. That will be a pain in the ass to weld because we have this piece above it. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. And if we do well that will also help a little bit with the height thing, I think. Because they will be tied together a little bit as well. So I think that's the plan. Let's put you guys like so. Oh, I apparently changed the camera somehow. Back to, please. All right. And there we are. But yes, for those that did not know, the seat in this Ram truck is a Chevy Astro van seat. Actually. Not that I would know if that's a hard question or not. Earth lead. Get off. Oh yeah, it is. I'm a bit 50-50 if I'm happy with it. To be honest, I'm actually not that happy with it. It's actually kind of shite. Let's see. Yeah, no, like, you can't see me at all when I'm standing there. Jesus Christ, this camera angle is horrid. Let's try to change it. Do something better then. Oh, if I move that. And that should be better. Better lighting and everything. Yeah, that should be better. Cool. Cool. How long have we been on for, by the way? 2 hours. Okay, cool. Starting to feel it, I think. We'll continue a little bit along here, I think. As I said, I'll give that lifting up trick again a try. So, because we also do need to get that going on with the actual rust repairs as well. Where did I put the piece of wood? Oh, it's over here. There we are. There we go. So weird working without my peltors on. Everything sounds extremely weird right now because I can hear. Yeah, this is tight. And yeah, it doesn't feel like it's tight side to... Oh, it is tight. No, it's not. It's just height. Huh. So yeah, let's try this again. Shall we? Oh, it's pulling things. That's why. Stay. That is bending a lot. Like, let me show you guys. That is quite some bendage. Now without the ramp in there. Ooh. Mm. 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 It's safe. It's nothing to worry about. So let's bring in the flames. The only thing, I don't want to be straight in front of it, I think. That's like the biggest thing. There we are. So, I think the music went off now though. Yeah, it did. There's no ad, it's playing an ad. Sorry y'all, I got an ad. Yeah, my ad blocker doesn't work on for some reason. Yes, I also have an ad blocker. Also, yeah, I've had lots of issues with ad blockers on YouTube recently. Really annoying. I tried different ones and none seems to really work. Quite annoying, actually. Yeah, yep. Let's come forward a little bit. There we go, cool. Right, we're up and working again. Sweet. Nice. Now let's lower that down. See if it helped. I think it did. Oh, I think it did actually a little bit too much. Oh. Whoops. Ugh. Yeah, you can actually see it's above now. That's probably fine. It's not real precision work, this, you know. There's always ways to fix that, but then again, it doesn't really fully matter that badly either. Yeah, it's fine. Just waiting for this thing to go down. Takes ages. Now we have ad brakes as well. Sweet. All right. I think we're getting close to making the stoppers, though. Oh, yeah, gonna make this one plate that goes over here. I think we wanna get it down a little bit, but yeah. Oh yeah, this slide's easier now, and we have plenty of up and down space now. One might say a bit too much, because, yeah. It is grinding in the middle, which is where it's most bent, the ramp itself, that is. And where we have least amount of movement. I think our the plates that we cut were a bit too thick. And like I said, we might have gotten a little bit too much of a space there right now. But it doesn't want to move because it's tight further down. So I think that's fine. I think we're just gonna measure out a distancer there. Again, I don't know if we need it, to be honest, because side to side is very stiff already. I guess it's just so that if anything wanna wander, it has a little bit better stability. What do you guys like? Do you guys think we need a little bit like extra support between them, or that everything should be fine now? I want to do everything now so that we can get most of this stuff done. You know? Yeah, I felt like we did overbend this one a little bit, I think. Oh yeah, let's get this back. So that we can, with some, wait, maybe. That's a bit better. Yeah, the issue is in the middle. So let's try. Oh, it's not the spacer. The spacer is loose. So spacer is not. Hej! Nej, jag bad om vatten förut på livesändning. Kan du komma upp med skärbrädan också? Så. Kasta. Kasta bara. Yeah, again. I got water, guys. Oh yeah, you saw that. Cool. But yeah, my mom is gonna go up and go down and grab the cutting board, which we will just cut off pieces, and then I'll just super glue them on, I think, and then we will try to get it in and out. Again, we're doing it the wrong direction, which will have issues, I think, but it should be mostly fine. And then we will see if we need anything else modified for now. Otherwise, we will make the stoppers, and that will probably be the end of the live stream. I know it says rust repairs, but I'll probably do the rust repairs off stream. Just because I also need to get home and need to get the ramp truck out of the garage for the week. So yeah, but yes, as I said, well, technically, why not use, we already have done these, and that's pretty much perfect. Yeah, we could just weld that straight on there. And welding it will actually not be difficult at all. Technically, you should be able to weld through mill scales, right? Technically. Right? Well, we can give it a try. I can't be bothered grinding more. Again, these are not like super structural welds. They don't have to be. See if I can get like an angle from above here. Hesitant, but we could give it a try. There we are. Sweet. Where are my welding gloves? Where are welding gloves? Oh, there. Found them. Found them. Let's see if we can just weld through the mill scales. We will see quite quickly. And you usually are able to. Again, these are not super structural welds or super important welds, then of course you want them off, but yeah, we can. There we are. That's poop. That last bit, just a drool weld. There we are. Oh, hit you guys. Sweet. That got hot. That vice grip got quite toasty apparently. Who would have guessed? Never me, yeah. All right. Sweet. Oh shit, that's on the underside. There we go. Cool. A little bit underneath. We should probably grind that off. Där, jättebra. Tackar, tackar. Det gör han nog. Ja, men det här blir jättebra. Ja, men jag tror det blir jättebra. Tack så mycket. So, we have our old, very thin cutting board. I think might be a bit too, yeah, it might be a bit too grippy, but we'll see. It's just so that we don't go on top of the frame rails. That's what this is for. And yeah, this is thinner than the 3mm plates. For sure it is. And it's way, you know, more malleable. So we're gonna cut this off and glue it on. So let's move everything again. So let's see if I can give you guys a bit of a better representation of that. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna move the welder and everything like that away. Du vet att du är med i bilden. Nej, det är lugnt, du får vara med i bild. Jag ville bara säga. Yeah, I'm gonna move everything around because now we're going to glue those on and then yeah, test fit it. We will test fit shit right now. That's where we are. Cool. 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 Sweet. move you away for now. Yeah, I do want my normal gloves. I'm just gonna put on my cap as well because it's nice to have. And I'm gonna have a little bit of a drink as well. There we are, cool. Ah! But yeah, cut that off, up and glue them on. Yeah, so let's see how these are to remove right now. Should have you guys right here, which we can fix because we have a welder on wheels. And that one is magnet, well, metal. So, there we are. Let's see how. It's actually not too bad. Ooh, that is tight on you guys though. Yeah, that's working really nicely actually. Yeah, we will try that in a bit because like I said, we will now cut this old cutting board up and glue it on. So we're just gonna make strips for this. It's a little bit grippy, but it's just to protect the frame. So I don't want it to grind on the frame itself and to give it a little bit of a stopping of vibration noise. So yeah, let's try this one. This one isn't too bad either. Oh, well, there was, yeah, it's a bit close. But yeah, this works nicely so far, and this is on the wrong direction, as I said. So, there we go. Yeah, there we are, nicely. Yeah, that welded. That's hot. Yeah, sweet. Now let's, and also you gotta remember, these are irregular as well. So nothing is of a regular size, really. But I wanted to get a measurement on the rails. So, of a, yeah, ish measurement. You can see how they have already started to remove the paint. But we need something that's like 6, yeah, let's just say it's 6 by 6 then. I think that will be fine. Yeah, 6 by 6. Let's cut this out, 6 by 6. And we should be able to do that with like a scissor, really, more than anything else. I should have a white pen. I do. Barely been used. So we said 6 by 6. We have 6. Oh, it's so unused. I haven't even done this. I actually never used it, apparently. Come on. Come on. Start work. And now there we go. Now it works. 6 by 6. So we can do a line. Doesn't need to be that accurate, of course. There we go. And then 1, 2, 6, 12, 18. Yeah. There we go. It's gonna be close enough. I should probably just paint it all over it. And then again, something like that. Would make enough of them. Again, doesn't need to be, you know, super close. It just needs to be. And I can tell you right now, and you guys can all see, those are not equal at all. They're very far from being very similar. Even with the fisheye, you guys can probably see that. But it's fine. Like, it surely does not matter. Let's see if a normal scissor can cut this. Of course, the one on the bottom is not going to be used at all. So it does with some difficulty, but it cuts. It does cut. Oh god, that one is very not straight. Oopsie. There we are. And like I said, we will just use some super glue or something. We only need we need 8 of these in total. So there we have 3. Yeah, should be fine. I cut them in half. Just realized it's probably easier to do this one first. But it doesn't really matter. There we are. And somewhere, you know, in between. Because those lines are very far from close to be equal. And like I said, it's not like, it's just there to be a sacrificial bushing basically, or a gliding, something, you know, to sacrifice. That's why we're just putting it on with super glue right now. If we need better things later on, I can buy a new one of these. They're extremely cheap, and yeah, that's the thing. Like, super glue on them and just super glue them on. Yeah, it's probably fine. If it doesn't work, we'll put a screw in them or a rivet or something. Yeah, it will glide on the rivet then, but this will still be there mostly, you know. This will be fine. Let's grab the super glue and let's get not high. Let's not sniff that. Actually, do not sniff super glue, kids. It's not good. It's really not. Not that I have actually tried. Sounds weird me saying, but I would imagine it being really bad. But yeah, just some normal super glue. Should probably go underneath first. Should probably bring you guys with me underneath. How I'm gonna do that, I have yet to decide, so that you guys can get a good view. Because again, it's very tight down here, which one would not think with this amount of ground clearance, but when you get underneath, yeah, it's not that much space. Let's, yeah, let's do that. Maybe something like that would work. Yes, that will work. That is what we're gonna do. Cool. Right. Let's grab our super glue. I think putting the super glue on here might be the way to go. It's too dirty technically, probably. It'll be fine. Just adhesive bonding, you know. It adds to the bonding. There we go. A big lump. There and there. And then some there. I think that's close enough. And then some here. Probably good enough. Again, it doesn't need to be that perfect. Just gonna smooch it around a bit. And then edit like that. Should probably glue both sides, I just realized. Just a thin layer maybe. Because this is, yeah, it's super glue. It will adhere. It's good adhesive. But yeah, there we go. Look at where our top piece is. Hold it there for a second. I should probably, yeah, let's just wiggle it about a little bit, get some of that glue all over. There we are. Again, am I doing this the most proper and best way ever? Probably not. I don't really care. If I'm honest. It just needs to hold for now, really, more than anything else. And here was really annoying because it's like a bump here for fuel tank mount. Yeah. Probably will go around with the glue on the edges later on, just to make everything kind of adhere a bit better. But this should be good enough. Certified good enough. Still hate that it only, like, it doesn't sell those stickers. Only has them as Patreon things. I don't know how often you get them. Like, I would like to have a few. That's why I wouldn't be against supporting Superfast Matt on Patreon. Not that. And I just got glue on my fingers, of course. That's not the issue. The issue is that I want more than one. And I would imagine it's not like you get one like the same month you start subscribing. I guess you have to be a subscriber for a while to get the sticker. Don't know, would like the sticker. There we go, cool. That's this side. Let's go to the other side. There we go. And wait. But yeah, if anyone knows how often he does give out those stickers, yeah, let me know. Could probably just, you know, send a message or something. But ain't nobody got the time for that. There we are. Well, could probably throw these over there. Wait. Yeah, you can see everything. Cool. Nice. Let's do some more gluing. Yeah, I most definitely got glue on my fingies. Get off my... Oh god. Got glue on my pliers because it was like clogged. Let's just do something like that. Please don't glue my pliers together or to my pants. That would suck. Yeah. Sweet. Now we probably will get some more glue. There we are. Wait. That one will go about there. My arm looks really long. Thank you, fisheye lens, I guess. Now we can see it actually starting to crack there as well. But that one is a little bit easier to weld up. That's literally what I did. I did not undo anything there or like cut off anything. I just welded up the crack. Again, not the best way to fix it, but it was to pass an inspection. And then I forgot about it. It's like studying for a test. You remember it for the test. Then not so much. And there we are. Do these have a semi-high likelihood of falling off? Yeah. And again, these are mainly for, you know, testing purpose. Don't. Again, it's an extremely cheap cutting board that we could buy whenever at a Biltema, which is like our Harbor Freight kind of deal. You know, I think it's $2 maybe. Like, it's extremely cheap. It does not, it's not like it will ruin my life if it comes off. Yeah, it would be annoying if it comes off while we're testing right now. But I have literally no one else than myself to blame. Because I'm not really doing this properly. Because, yeah, I would clean this off better, would put weight on them and everything, so. Yeah, no. Okay, cool. Last one, and I have glue on my fingers. That hurt. Alright. This one is a bit tricky, because this again has a bend in it. I have to actually hold it here for a bit. Let's press down on the other ones while I do that. If I can get them to as well. I didn't use any accelerator or anything like that because that usually tends to make everything a little bit less durable, I find, with this glue. So, yeah. There we are. That should be, yeah, good. Good enough. Oh, there's the cork or lid for the glue. Let's push this back. Perfect. Now let's just let that dry for a moment, and then we shall do the test. Oh yeah, I should put the whole thing back. Yeah, we will then do a test fit, and if that's good, we will probably end the stream there. Yeah, because I can't do much more except for welding the stoppers on the ramps, for the ramps, which again, we might not just do yet, just so that we have ease of access until we have sorted out everything from the other end, you know, just to make everything kind of work as easily as possible. I don't know how much longer we need to let it all wait. We will now try to put the other ramp on the other place, just so we know that it actually doesn't matter which way it goes in. Well, in which ramp goes in which place, I guess. Because it's nice to just be able to just put it in wherever, you know? All right. Because I parked the welder a little bit badly. We need to yoink. All right, cool. Come on. There we go. Oh. Okay. It's quite tight there, apparently. Huh. I guess it's really tight. I don't know if it's because we have the tires there. Okay, so that one fell. That's too tight there, apparently. Again, we are putting in the wrong direction, and they are thicker in the locking, like the other end. So because it slides perfectly on the other side. So let me take the one that we didn't glue and put it in now. Yeah. That would fit perfectly fine. Yeah, now it slides without hiccups on those. So I think it's that the locking end is a bit thicker. You know. So that one slid in perfectly fine. Except for, so like what I'm talking about is this. So where it's welded here, because it's just a bit thicker compared to everywhere else. The total height becomes a little bit more. So that is what's causing us grief, I think, compared to the other end, which is, you know, again, we wouldn't have we would put in like coming this way. That's the idea. So as long as it's fine-ish, I'm calling it a win. But yeah, let's try this one. This was the one that was giving us the most problems yesterday. Oh, don't want to mess up the welding gear again. So far, it's fucking great. It's a bit tight still, but again, it's that end part. I will just go and have a look, because I didn't hear anything drop, but no. All the plastic pieces are here. Some of them probably needs to be placed other places, but the majority of them looks decent. Yeah, it is tight over here, but we have some bendage still, and like the wobble side to side is more on the left one, or like the back one. But if I'm positioning these kind of where I want to have them positioned, yeah, like this seems fine. it is a bit tight probably, but again, it will loosen up with time and with use. So that's kind of where as far back I want them, as well as far forward, and there you go. That's pretty much lined up with that. And let's actually use the correct side. Yeah, this one actually can go back a little bit more. But this one, as you can see, is pretty much perfect. And there we are. And that's why this is the plan. Because, yeah, and like I said, it will just hit this. It will lean against it all the time as well. But again, up and down, there's some side to side, there is some. But when we get to an edge, it won't really move any more than to that. So I'm calling this a win. I'm calling this a solid win, actually. Actually pretty happy with all this. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, and it seems like we can use either or. They are bent differently, so that's why we probably have a little bit less space there now and more here. Because they are bent a little bit inwards, probably, because of, yeah, we've driven on stuff probably a little bit wonky sometimes. But in general, that's fucking great. I like this. I like this a lot. It's about probably gonna do something similar like this on the other side, because that has the same issue right now with that being quite flexible. So we're probably gonna do something similar on the other side. And then do the locking mechanism, or like locking the loops, gonna weld the loops on. And then, yeah, the stoppers, and then that's it. Then we're done. Reglue that one, of course, that fell down, or the spare one that is on there now, just glue that one on when we can test it from the other side. But yeah, I think I will wait on that until we can test that from the other side properly. I will be welding this on today. Could actually mark this one out immediately. It's gonna be a little bit smaller than this one, of course, because this one is a bit large. It's for here, which we also can do by moving it backwards a little bit. No, forward a bit. And yeah, somewhere around there. This one is gonna be there and there. So I know where to grind that and all that. But yeah, we'll not weld them on right now, as I said, because then I can't remove them. So we will remove them. I will then clamp on, like I did before, the flat piece of metal I had to just have as a guide, tack weld that on, and bada bing, bada boom, we're done. But I think that will actually be it for today, y'all. Don't have the full on energy to go on much longer, and I actually don't know what time it is. Actually, it might actually be time to go home soon. I have no idea, actually, which would be a shame, because yeah, I would like to be done with this without needing to push out the ramp truck. It's not time to go home just yet, but it's not that far off. But yeah, interestingly enough, I said we would do rust repairs, and we haven't done any rust repair, because I'm gonna do that now, again off stream, just to make it go a little bit quicker, because yeah, I am running out of time for this week, you know. I don't know how we will do now. We might just do the old hang a fuel tank, like a fuel container underneath, and drive it out like that. We have already done that once. It works. Certified, it works. Yeah, we just had literally we had one of these coolant bottles with fuel in it. That's what we did when we did the rust repairs the first time. We just had one of these with a hole in it, put the the fuel hose, well, the fuel line in it, sucked it, and that's how we did it. It will work. It's easier to remove than the whole fuel tank. Might just be what we do again. Meh. Because I don't know if I can leave the ramp truck here for the whole week. I don't know if my bonus dad needs the garage at all. So let's see. No one that we know has gone live. We don't need to look at that. But yeah, I will have to double check if I can leave the car in the garage, just because it's not drivable, and you know, it's nothing you push on your own. So and it's not easy to push around. You can, of course you can, we have done it, but the difference was that it was all space behind the garage to just push it back and then push it right in. That's fine. Again, when you get to the humps, you can use the starter motor just to get over the humps and everything, right? But now there's cars behind, so you know, yeah, that's why I wanna. We have gotten most of the ramps, like the ramp mounts are pretty much, I would say 80% done of what they need to be. We could just weld the stops and the loops, call it a day and not care about it. I want to do some more things similar to what we did on this side, on the other side, just to make it a little bit stronger. Again, yes, it will flex in with these because they will go as a loop and all that, but I kind of want to have that strength already there. Could be good to have that flexibility to clamp onto the ramps as well. That's one way to look at it, but I haven't decided, and yeah, we will see. So, but in general, thank you all so much for watching today. It's been great having 2 live streams in a row now. It's been a good while. Like, I think the last live stream was like 2-3 months ago, and the one, not 2 months ago, I think the one before that was just after New Year, I think, and the one before that was like 3 months. So like, hey, we're doing better. But yeah, hit up that follow button if you're new here. If you have Twitch Prime, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Then you can click on a little thingy that says use Twitch Prime instead. It's free, and we have a good alert sound for that one. And you get all the emotes and everything. Join the Discord. I do post there, try to post there, show shit from my job, my very safe job. People do find that interesting. So I try to do that from time to time when I remember. I also post other updates there as well. Not great at it, but I do my best. Hopefully we will do more live streams around the ramp truck here soon. It is just easier to get this all rolling when we have projects like this that is like it's an interesting thing to show more than, oh, I am now changing oil again. Whoop-de-doo. It's not that interesting, you know. It's hard to make it a fun experience for everybody. It's always nice to just chat with you all. It sure is. But I want it to be entertaining as well. But yes, I think that's it. So, because I don't think anyone that we usually raid are online. I haven't gotten a notification, as I said. So yeah, don't think anyone is live right now. A recommendation for those that haven't seen, I guess majority of you guys that are here do also watch Cone Dodger 240. He and CK in chat has done a really awesome standalone conversion on a 200 SX S12, right? Is it S12, not an S13? S12, right? I do not remember. Yeah, there you go. I know stuff. You should all check that out on his... What he said. Yes, go and check that out on his Twitch channel and on his YouTube channel. It's really great, actually. Been trying to like watch everything that I missed, but yeah, it's a good, interesting experience. What I kind of wanted to do with this when we did electronics, that's kind of what I wanted to do, but weren't really able to do monetary wise and skill wise. I would probably be able to do it now, maybe. But then again, we have the other issues. Okay, how the fuck do we get a map on this machine? You can't really take this to a normal dyno and just have them map it, it's a bit big. It's a bit large. It's a bit difficult. Not the normal kind of vehicle here that goes to dynos, compared to like in the US when you have big ass trucks going into dynos with big comments. Doesn't really happen here as much. Anyway, yeah, check that out. If you're not a follower of ConeDodger240, look him up. It's good guy. Anyway, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Watch the YouTube channel if you want to see more of the build of this. Actually has a lot of that stuff up there as well. I was supposed to do like the recap videos. Holy shit, there's a lot of footage to go through. Holy shit, that's difficult. People that do that, good job. I am not a good editor, I have realized. Mainly because of lack of experience. But it exists there, Sweewa Man on everything. Join Discord, all that stuff. Otherwise, take care everybody, bye bye!